Hello, we're going live. So, thank you for coming to my channel. My name is Cindy, and I'm really excited today to interview David Cole, who has some really cool resources for ESL teachers online. So, welcome, Dave. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I was a little confused because you sent me a Google Meet link, and I'm like, is he inviting me to his channel or am I inviting him to my channel? So,
No, just calendar scheduling, trying to get it on so it was
yeah,
all
that's
on there
great.
and
I love it. Excellent. Yeah, thank you. So I saw David on Online Teacher Dude's channel and I loved his resources. It was interesting because I had Kathy Kelly on my channel and she mentioned that she's teaching ESL on Outschool and that she was getting resources like she had mentioned purchasing some because it was taking so long for her to make her own. So I was really excited to see your resources and I thought that other people might enjoy, seeing what you have. So before we get into that, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
yeah, of course. I'm a traveling teacher. It's what I've been doing for the past 3 years, really. Uh, and before that, I was a VIP kid teacher solely. I've done other things, taught for colleges online, um, a lot of different trades, mostly sales.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh, but I got into teaching at the college level. I really liked it. I liked the freedom that it offered, traveling and teaching. And then when I had a kid of my own, I started working with younger kids. I'm like, you know what? I'll just keep working with younger kids. It's the same age group as mine, and kind of moved up with the IP kids in that round. I started with just level one only for a long time until I
Oh,
finally started
really?
taking on other ones. Yeah.
So you were doing what, VIP kid level one?
Oh yeah, that's what I started
Okay.
at. I taught VIP Kid level one, I think, for maybe 2 years, where I literally only taught level one,
Wow.
and then I started
Kudos
adding
to
on
you.
others.
Wow, that's exhausting.
Several of those students are actually still with me today, and still working with
Really?
them. Yeah,
Oh, that is great. And how old are they now?
about 10. So
Wow, that is excellent. I didn't really, when VIP Kid, shut down, I kind of like just stopped because I'm like, I don't want to get in trouble like for crossing lines or anything. So I just kind of went a different direction. But it's really cool that I wish I could have kept some of my students.
I talked with some of the parents. Like one of my students has been with me forever. I even went to dinner with his dad when I was in Singapore.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
I talked to them. Basically the parents took ownership of it. They're the ones who could possibly get in trouble, not me, not you
Yeah,
necessarily, unless you decide to go to China while you're doing it. That's
right.
another story. But we decided that they really wanted to continue their English language. They had a good rapport with me. Several of my other students, I think I retained about 15 students, um,
Wow.
and kept going from there. And then I've gotten some referrals since then, but one thing led to another. I had to evolve and get more lessons and things like that. So that's where we are now.
Wow, right. Excellent. Okay. So, do you still work for VIP Kid or are you completely on your own now?
I have contract with the global platform. I opened slots maybe the first week the contract came out, or maybe the first month, but I never got anything. And I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna focus on getting the best things I can for my students and do what I can. And so I started making lessons of my own, and just I haven't opened anything up on there. I'm also contracted with a couple other platforms, but again, I focus mainly on teaching the students I have and working on the website in my other time.
Okay. So, now do you live overseas? Did I
Uh,
get that
I
correct?
did. I
You
started
did.
out. I moved to Asia. We were when we were still with VIP Kid. Pandemic hit. We got locked down over there. I
Oh,
did a lot
wow.
of teaching and working. Like nobody could even walk outside unless you were going to
Ooh,
the grocery store, and then it was like
wow.
one person at a time.
Wow.
Crazy. Came back to the States. to get vaccinated, and then went down to Mexico to see how things played out. Um, and then we decided, you know what? I'm not going to fly anymore. I don't want to risk getting sick. I haven't been sick with this thing yet, knock on wood.
Yeah.
Um, but so we decided to buy a car and that we would drive the Americas. So
Okay.
that's where we are now. We're in Guatemala. No, wait, we just left Guatemala. We are in El Salvador right now.
Oh, okay.
And
Wow.
actually, right after I get the phone call with you, we are driving down to the border and crossing into Honduras tonight,
Oh,
and,
wow.
and then over into Nicaragua, or yeah, Nicaragua tomorrow.
Wow. What's it like? I mean, I have a friend that lives in Honduras. He actually has like an orphanage and everything. I would love to see him, but I'm just like a wimpy American. What's it like? Is it good? Is everything
Oh
good?
yeah,
Come on.
everything's been great so far.
Yeah.
Like, we do a lot of driving, which we were just commenting on in the car yesterday. That we feel like we're more immersed and we actually see more of a country, get to experience it better than we ever did when we just flew in someplace, did
Yeah.
some cool activities, and
Yeah.
then flew out to the next place. Now that we
Wow.
have a car, not only just the border crossings are crazy sometimes, 2 to 4 hours long, um, but um, you see the trees. Like we saw rolling hills just driving down the road the other day. It looked magical.
Wow.
Um, and that was leaving Mexico to going into Guatemala. Um, we talked to people. Yesterday, I needed some water, so I walked over to the corner store, the little tienda down here, and all the people were talking to me. First, they started trying to talk to me in Spanish, and so I did my best because I'm still practicing and still learning.
Okay.
And then one of them gave up, and she just started speaking to me in English, and she's like, so this, that, and that. Then, it's only $1.50 for the bottle of water, the jug of water that I wanted, and so they take dollars down here, and
Okay.
so I'm fishing through my pockets, and they're like, "Wait, you don't have any money?" And basically, think you're an American. They think you all have money, but like I had coins on me. So they
Wow.
started making fun of me. It was cute because it was this really cute interaction that you get when people see you all the time, and they get comfortable with you.
Yeah.
So
They seem really friendly. My daughter actually went down on a missions trip once and she did love it. She didn't really want to come back, but once she came back, she hasn't gone back since. But so where do you stay? You have a car, so you just
mhm.
stay overnight wherever or
A combination of like Airbnbs,
okay.
but right now we're doing a lot of house sits where we're on house sitting websites.
Oh,
And we
wow.
basically we go help
Okay.
people. We take care of their animals. We take care of their property,
Wow.
and while they're traveling. And yeah,
Wow. So who do you have? You have yourself and you said you're married?
yeah,
You're the
myself,
child?
my wife, and our 9-year-old son. Yeah.
Wow. And they're all into it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that
It's a
is
good.
so interesting. Oh,
Yep.
did you say you had a blog? Does your wife do a blog?
Yeah, she runs ouroffbeatlife.com. Yeah.
Yes, I did look that up. Yeah, she's really good at it.
Oh yeah, she's got some great stuff on there. There's links to that house sitting on there if people are curious about how that even works. I mean, it's cool. Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. Yeah, I'm too much of a wimp, I think, but it costs more money to be a wimp, I think, but that is so interesting. Yeah, well, thank you for sharing that. So, when you're teaching, how does that work? When you're traveling and teaching, you got to make sure you have internet and all that.
Yes, it's only come up a couple of times. We're usually pretty diligent about making sure that the internet connection is good before we even get there. They
Okay.
send speed tests and do all that. We were way more diligent when we were working with VIP Kid, because then it's
Yeah,
like all or nothing. If you get a bad review,
right.
you're really in trouble. But
Yeah.
now a lot of times, all my parents know that I'm teaching and traveling. And when I have a travel day, I usually don't teach, or I'll
Okay.
teach in the morning like I did today. And then now that we're done teaching, I'm taking 2 days off to do our move. But we try to make sure that there's good internet connection. We've been to some places like they said it was good internet connection, but it was satellite. So right now it's rainy season, and it went out every time there was a thunderstorm. So
Right.
that was tricky. But yeah, there's different ways to make it work as best as possible. Plus, the parents are way more understanding when it's just one-on-one that we're doing
Right.
now than a big company.
Right. Yeah. Because with VIP Kid, if you're even late by a second, it's a teacher no show. And if you don't, you get bad reviews, and then it's just a snowballing.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
it's amazing
I've
that
given
so
free
many of us,
classes.
yeah.
Yeah, I gave a student a free class because there was just poor internet one
Yeah. That can
time,
work
and
too. Yeah.
or I've gone over because I didn't have a class scheduled next, and they had time, and it's just way more freedom working for yourself than working for a company.
And so that leads us to you have this other online business that you want to work with. So that, what's the name of it?
The tutor resource.
Okay. And how long has this been in existence?
Um, this has been since November is when
Oh,
we
really?
really started publishing our first thing, but I didn't actually start putting curriculum on there until February. Now it's got 8 different curriculums on there, and people add in other stuff all the time.
Okay. So just tell us a little bit about that. And I do have I can share my screen and show it a little bit. Just give us a little pitch on that.
Yeah. So because a lot of teachers make things all the time. They're making content for themselves, whether it's your standard brick and mortar teacher, whether it's your online teacher. We all make lessons. We all make content, and then we use it, and then we shelve it until we need it again, or we'll end up remaking something new again because it's like a new class or whatever it is.
Mhm.
So instead of just shelving it and putting all that hard work, it can take 3 4 hours sometimes to make a good lesson,
Mhm.
and your time is worth money. It's valuable. So I was like, my time is worth money. I want to see what I can get out of this. So instead of just putting something out there where I just have one website and I'm just selling my stuff, I'm like, I'm going to give other teachers an opportunity to be able to sell their stuff as well. So I was like, let's make a little marketplace. uh, let's not charge a lot. We want to make sure that teachers can afford this and that they can see the variety and use the variety that's out there. So we kept prices low, and let people access what they want when they want. Usually it's full curriculum so that you can find a student that this works with, or a student that works with, and you can subscribe to the ones that you want or pick up a lesson here if you need it, that type of thing.
Okay.
Uh, and so that's kind of how the idea was born, and it's evolved. I mean, we've got scheduling on there and payment systems. We've got profile pages so that teachers can share it with the potential students, showcasing their skill sets, reviews, any videos. I mean, I was like, what did these other companies give me that helped me sell myself to students? And how can I incorporate that so other teachers can now use that with their private students? And so I was like, let's do that. Let's put it all together so that it feels like home again.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. So this is a place where now, are you looking for teachers to put content on there as well?
All the time. Yeah.
Okay, so you're
So
looking for people to put content on, and then it's kind of like a what do you call that? Consignment. Like you probably take a percentage of what they get, right?
yeah. So I mean, it's right now it's 75-25 split.
Okay.
So keeping it pretty reasonable, because there's fees and everything like that and
Right.
transactions.
Yeah.
But and then right now I've been helping some people setting up some pages and stuff like that. I'm rolling out a pricing structure for me doing that later down the road, because right now as we're starting, I've been really helping the early people build and put a brand together, make it look all like it works really well together by actually doing website building. Basically, I'm making their pages, but that's
Wow.
going to be a paid service down the road as we have
Yeah.
more and more people on there. Uh, so I mean, I'm always looking for more people. We've
Yeah.
got, like I said, 8 different curriculums on there. We're wanting to really branch out into other areas besides ESL. So if any of your listeners are non-ESL teachers, math, science,
Mm.
history, I mean, the whole gamut. We've got a music teacher who's trying to bring on her stuff.
Oh,
I've got
cool.
other languages, other language teachers like Spanish and Italian that are bringing on their stuff so that people can access it. We want
Okay.
this to be a site for all teachers, all tutors.
So somebody could go to your website and they could find a tutor if they want a tutor. So if they're a parent or even a grandparent, they want a tutor, they could find a tutor there, and a tutor
Yes,
could find resources there. And if you have resources, you can put them on. So
exactly.
that sounds
Uh,
really cool.
yeah, a parent or a student can go to the member directory if they're logged in. They can see all the tutors, all the teachers that are on there. I mean, we've got over 500, or sorry, over 800 right now on there. Everybody's got their own profile to various extents that
Wow,
they've
you have
set theirs up.
800 tutors already?
Oh yeah, the site's
Wow,
pretty busy so far.
cool. All
Um,
right, well, I'm going to share the screen and you can,
yeah,
let's see here. I'm a little slow on StreamYard sharing here. Share my screen. Here we go. Okay, so here it is. So what
there
do you
you
want me
go.
to show
So
here?
so yeah, this is the home page. For people who are brand new, I suggest they just scroll down. If you scroll down just a little bit, you'll see probably these right here. These are our free lessons. So some of the curriculum providers have put on some free lessons,
Oh,
and so
wow.
we're showcasing them right here so people can get an idea of what's there.
Okay.
Is the content what they want? And if it is, great. Then you choose the ones you subscribe to it. So these are usually some random lessons throughout their stuff. So it's not going to be like necessarily the first course, but you can get an idea of what they offer.
Yeah.
Um, we're still playing with how we're going to lay everything out on the screen, but
Okay.
we got some what's new, what's all the curriculum that's available out there. This one right here just showcases 3 of them, but if you go to show more vendors right there, it'll take you to basically the vendor shops where you'll actually see some of the instructors that are currently
Oh,
selling
cool.
selling things on there, what they have. I mean, so we've got people who've got all types of stuff on here right now. So you can see
Okay.
there's lots of people that are already providing material on the site.
Excellent.
Um, and then if you go to member resources,
Okay, so now I'm going to go to I don't know if I should member
yeah,
resource.
you're fine in the
Okay.
middle. Yep.
Okay, I just
And
don't want to click the wrong thing on my. Okay. Okay.
so if you were logged in, you would see
Mhm.
your account, your dashboard, how to access classes. If you're a vendor and you're selling things, you can see a sales report showing what you sold, how much you've made. Just
Oh,
so much
wow.
information that you can access in here.
Oh, cool.
And then you can see there's the member directory. So you click on that link, and it should take you over there. Normally, if you're logged in, that's also available as a drop-down menu
Okay.
from that member's the link.
Is you.
So, but this showcases all the different members and on the site, not just the vendors and any of the creators, instructors that are out there to various degrees of their profile completion.
Okay.
So there's just
Awesome.
lots of material. If you scroll up to the top,
Mhm.
and you can click on. Let's see here. Oh, it's not scrolling.
It's up to the tutor resource here.
No,
Can you see
It's not
it?
updated. No, I don't see it.
Oh, I think it might have timed out or something. Let me see what's doing. Oh, that's weird because what I'm looking at is different than what's on the screen. Huh. It must have timed out. Maybe it has a timer on it
Oh, maybe.
or StreamYard. So that's weird. I probably could share it again. That's weird because I was scrolling, but there's like a square around it. So maybe it's just that's all I can think of is it's a timed because I have the free version. I don't
Uh,
I don't have the
does it?
updated supersonic one. So
That's
let me
okay.
see.
Does it let you? Does it let you show? Let me share mine.
I'm not sure. Let me see. It might I don't know. But I have this right here. what else do you want to do?
Oh, we can do anything. If you go
Yeah.
to the top where it says curriculums.
Yep.
So there you can see I've listed all the main ESL curriculums. As we get more, I'm going to change this menu structure out so that you'll see history, you'll see math. We'll have a nice little
Okay.
layout for it as more people come on. Right now, these are pretty much ESL lessons. You can see what they have, their homepage that we built, how you can subscribe, a little bit about them. If you're already subscribed to them, on the right hand side there, you can actually access their lessons. So if you click on the arrow, it'll show their lessons. If he
Mhm.
has any free ones, they'll automatically show up as orange, and you'll be able to click on them and go through and go into the lesson right then and there.
Okay.
So it's just a lot of really cool different things that you can do inside of the system.
Okay. So did you add this, David Cole, add to stream? Did you do that?
Yeah, if you click on it, it should
Okay.
let me.
Yeah. So that should work.
So
Awesome. You're
this
maybe
is
a little more techie than me. I'm learning. I'm learning. Awesome. I
this
love it.
So this is the member directory, and anybody who has
Okay.
a profile set up, they can change their banner, their picture, do lots of different things. If I click on one, like I can click on my own right here, it opens straight into the profile. This is what you can send out for parents. This is free for all members. Again, membership is free to the site. So I just use Canva to create a cool background. Um, I put in some information about myself. I put on videos over here so I can showcase this and share with parents what my teaching style is like. Um, Files, if you want to share anything with the potential parents, again, um, you can put on pictures on here. And in this case, I decided to put on pictures of reviews that I've gotten from parents, any skills. I mean, there's just lots of different things you can put on here.
Very
And then
cool.
I also linked over to my scheduler so parents can just schedule classes with me right on the spot
Oh,
and pay for
that
them
is so cool. So then you don't have to set up your own schedule. You can just do it through this
through the site.
website.
Yeah, right. And
Wow.
so that
So
just
do you
pops
have to
in
pay
here.
as a teacher to participate, or do you just get a percentage of what the teacher makes?
Right now, we're just going to do it as a percentage.
Okay.
So that way we keep it simple. We take out any like the PayPal fees or the processing fees and just a small percentage to cover the costs. But teachers can put in their packages whatever they want. And so these are the ones that I offer. And then the parent can click through and say yes, yes, yes. Schedule the classes. They have to schedule the first one right now. The rest get bucketed, and they can go in there and add them into the schedule. In the back end,
I
a teacher
like
can actually
that.
set up their schedule. So, like, I'm only available like 5 a.m. till 9 a.m. every Monday through Friday or whatever. I can put that in here. I want to take my birthday off. I put it in the schedule. I don't want to work on that day, so nobody can schedule it. Whatever you want. There's lots of really cool options, even for teachers to do for themselves in the system. Um, so there's just a lot of really interesting things within the system. I
That's
put a
really
start here section on the main page so people can figure out how to get access, including the blog, frequently asked questions, different ways to contact us if they have questions, more resources. So it's just right now, I mean, it's growing, and I'm taking advice or feedback from people as we try to develop this and make this into the kind of site that teachers want to use for all of the different resources, whether they're selling it or consuming it.
Right. I like that because one of the things that like is kind of intimidating for me is just going completely solo and you have to set up your own website and at least this way you could funnel your students to this place and they can find you there and just do everything off this site.
Definitely. As you can see
Very
right
cool.
here, we even list how many lessons that are completed and accessible within each of the different types of curriculums, so people can see before they even start. Well, but what am I paying for, and how much am I getting access to, and things like that.
So this one guy's on here, Ibrahim Tourist Vlogs. Do you know that person? It's like
Uh
a traveling Baltistan mountain near K2 Mountain. I'm not
oh, okay.
I'm not a do you know where that is?
I've heard of it, but I've never been. No.
So, watching that maybe he wants to be a tutor.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, looks like you got plenty of people on here.
Yeah. I know Rebecca F. She's a fellow teacher. She works for Outschool. I've done a lot of work with her on pods and different things through Outschool. And then Kelly, we've met like on YouTube. We're kind of all
Ah,
YouTube friends. We live far away from each other, but we've met each other online. That's what's cool about the YouTube community, and kind of missed that from being in VIP Kid, and we had that common bond. And so we're kind of building that again, trying to keep that going with our online teacher friends. So
nice.
yeah, so it's really fun. I think that was a big thing that we lost as teachers when the company shifted, and it's up to us to keep it going. So I appreciate your efforts in this venture with the tutor resource. That's a really great idea.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much you can do, and the website, the way I've made it here, has so much to offer. Like I was saying, within that membership area, we tried to make some community because, like you're talking about with losing that of VIP Kid, we used to go back into the Hudong and we talk in there and we do all that.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, we try to
and
create some stuff in here.
complain.
There was
What's what's
complaints.
what's teaching without complaining, right?
Exactly. So so there is just so much that you can do when you're inside of the profiles. There's a chat area where you can chat with other teachers. You can create groups in here and
Oh,
moderate your own little groups just like you would on Facebook. But we can keep it within the tutor resource. Teachers can rate each other and students if the student has an account here for scheduling classes, they can rate teachers. And everything. So as you can see,
wow.
Megan here's got 5 stars.
Okay. Yeah. So are you
Yeah,
showing us that? Because I can put that back up.
yeah. If it's showing it to you, I'm
Okay.
not sure. So on the site there's just lots of different things that you can do within the system, and that includes just like doing any kind of chats or private messaging with people. Under the activity, more I've got groups, different resources that this person might offer. You can see the activity. So if someone was commenting or they were sending messages back and forth, it would be in here. I can
Mm-hmm.
see maybe they became friends, and so
Mm-hmm.
you can do some
Okay.
comments on them, that type of thing. You say, "Oh,
Yeah.
cool, you know each other too, small world," or
Yeah.
whatever conversations you want to
Yeah.
have, like we had in the Utong. You can kind of do that now and here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. So what would you say about the pay? What do you think? How do people do on this forum with pay?
Well, I mean, right now, like I said, the site is free. The only thing that people pay
Right.
for is the lessons that they choose to access. Got everything right
Like
now
as
from.
far as their income, like how would I do as a teacher? Like I make my own prices.
Mhm. You
Do you
make your
think
own
I can make
prices.
more money on your
I
program?
I th- I like the site in that it's more quality. Instead of piecemealing it together, you can use something that is cohesive. So whether it's Teachers Together English, Blue Cherry, Chit Chat, they're all made and they all have a good flow to them. They all look the same, like they have the same templates. Like Chit Chat's all one template. Teachers Together has its own template, but it looks seamless. Some
Mm-hmm.
these are made by other teachers and educators who've worked in the field for a long time, and they're following like the guiding principles that you would follow to make a lesson plan. They're taking those lesson plans that they use. Sometimes they're taking what we did on another platform. And they're like, all right, well, I want to make sure I teach the same kind of things because that's what my students want. So they made their lessons to fit those needs. So now that it fits and it looks professional, you can charge more. for your time
Right.
and services, because you're selling something that is professional and not just a couple of slides here, or something free that you downloaded, and then every week it's a totally different look and feel, a
Right.
different lesson. I mean, we've all done it because
Yeah.
sometimes you need something in the moment. Oh, my
Yeah.
student needs a grammar lesson right now. I need to work on their phonics, or um, well, now you can go into this. You can say, okay, like, I love Teachers Together. I'm part of the creator for it too, because I've made a lot of the lessons. It was where everything got started, and I love because we followed a tried and true format where we start off. You got your welcome. We get into some vocabulary. We might do some reading or phonics, some grammar, and some math. It's all so every lesson has a little bit of everything, and it flows together. And since it's every lesson is like that, you're working on a well-rounded student in that case.
Right.
Um, and that type of thing. And so I love that because then I can use that with my students. The parents love it because their kid gets a well-rounded education, and it's structured. So,
Right. I love it. Now, I didn't even know that Kathy Kelly used your curriculum. I knew she bought something. I didn't know what company it was. So I just did an interview with her
oh,
like
cool.
last week or so. And she's somebody that I've known through VIP Kid meetups. And she actually taught my grandkids on an Outschool class.
Oh,
And she's
wow.
doing ESL. And so she's already bought some stuff and she really likes it. So that's great. Awesome. So you have a user right here
There you go.
attesting to your great stuff. Excellent. Yeah. And I know that many of the teachers, like we work for Outschool. Outschool is getting there's so many great teachers, we do need more. We need more stuff and we need more accessibility to different types of teaching. And hopefully with doing that too, that the students will see that
Yes.
as well.
The hardest thing I've heard with Outschool has been finding and making your own lessons because it's time consuming. And so a lot of people have been making lessons, and I really encourage those Outschool teachers that have made lessons, whether it's history, whether it's coding, whatever it might be. Contact me if you want to be a vendor on the site. We can work it out. We can put something up there. We put a disclaimer on the top. You can use this with your Outschool, or you can use this with all school. So that teachers can. I get people asking all the time, can I use this on my Outschool? Can I use this on my all school? Usually the creators have said yes, so we give the authorization. But if you're already created a whole bunch of stuff that you've used for yourself and you want to make more besides what you're teaching yourself, we can put it on the site and let other instructors use your type of material as well. Um,
Awesome.
and you control it. That's the beautiful thing. Where there are some sites where people download the material and then you don't have access to it anymore. It's a one-time sale,
Right.
and then they can change it, modify it, make it their own, put their own logo on it, whatever they want to do, and resell it. That happens a lot, and I didn't want that to happen. So we made it so everything stays in your like Google Drive or your
Oh,
OneDrive or
okay.
whatever. We just embed it into our site. Your Canva, if you're creating Canva site lessons, we can
Yep.
embed Canva files. We can embed just about anything you create right now nowadays can just be embedded, and you
Wow.
control it. So I've had teachers send, "Oh, there's a grammar mistake," and so they send it to one of the teachers, and the teacher changes it on their site, and it updates live. So the changes are reflected right
Wow.
away.
So you are a tech guru. You're a techie guy.
A little bit techie, just a little bit.
Hey, you know what? While I have you here, how do you stop the notifications from going while you're online or something? I have no idea.
I haven't been able to figure that out on this.
Really?
Like on
Oh
my
man.
phone, I can get it to stop. Like you can have it say if I'm on an active window, don't disturb me or whatever, but not on the
Yeah.
computer. Not on the
Oh
computer.
really? I have a laptop. I have a MacBook Pro and I just so annoying that the notifications keep going. And I have looked it up on YouTube and everything, but I'm like, surely it's not that hard. But I guess it is. Wow. So that is so interesting. Well, I love it. I love now. Can you still teach from an iPad on when you're traveling for VIP Kids?
Yes. Well, for VIP Kid, I don't think so.
You don't think
Because
so?
I don't I think that they don't have the app anymore. So maybe I haven't tried it because, like I said, I
Right.
never got any new lessons. But they don't have the app support anymore.
Okay.
So only
But you
browser.
can on your website.
On my website, yes. In fact, I did several times so far. So
Okay,
we've
so
got
my friend Luann is saving the day. She is telling me how to do it. She says double click bottom right corner and click don't show notifications. I'll do that after because I'm afraid
yeah,
to do it while I'm on a call, but I hope it
yeah,
works the way because it's really annoying. I've asked my kids, I have kids that they use computers like all day long. They know how to do nothing practical. So I'm like, you guys have to learn how to use the computer for something profitable. And but yeah, they can't answer my question. So I will do that after. Thank you, Luann. And she's also now the other question I had was for the website. Do you allow group classes? Because that's how we kind of make more money on Outschools if you can do more than one student at a time. So some people do an Outschool, you might get 5, 6 students at a time. They don't want to go back to just one student, because you make a lot less money. So what do you think?
yes.
Yeah.
A lot of the lessons can be used in group lessons. I've done it as well. Some of the curriculum is more designed for a group, like than others are. But it's like there's nothing stopping you. Like I use class in a lot of times, and so I can import multiple students and do a reading lesson, or any type of lesson for that matter. And once they're imported, you use your browser feature. You're just basically screen sharing within. So the site can be used as long as you can screen share or you have some kind of a shared browser that can be utilized. So it's pretty versatile, no matter what
Okay,
kind of lesson plan you're using. Yeah.
so when we use your website, are we using Zoom or do you do something else?
You can use Zoom, Skype, Voove, Tencent Meeting, Klassen. I mean, just about anything can be used.
Oh,
It's been
really? So
tested
you
out with several different types of users. I had one user had some problems trying to use Firefox, the browser, but if
okay,
you're using Chrome, Safari, it shouldn't have any problems.
okay, that's interesting. Yeah, that is interesting. So do you think so kind of it could be sort of like Outschool where you're getting teachers and you're getting classes and it's kind of a similar thing except that you also provide the curriculum, which I think
Correct.
is cool.
Right. And so, I mean, any student that's going to be on the site right now, there's not very many students. If a student comes on the site, it's literally because a teacher is giving them their scheduling
Okay.
site.
Yeah.
The student then creates a student account, which only really can see the scheduler and very little bit of information. There are some students that, like, I've got a teacher who's putting on video lessons for her students. So she's got a video course teaching ESL. Um, and so she's basically, it embeds her YouTube videos. And so
Oh,
shares that
cool.
out. So she teaches it once, and then the student can basically go through it on demand and follow
Ah,
through a curriculum.
yeah. See,
But
I've
she
done
also
that for
teaches
my
live
math
classes.
classes. I've done that for
Yeah.
my math classes, but I could do it more organized on your website
The
rather than
website. So yeah, the website works like that. So there's so many different ways. If you can think of it, if you're a creative mind, we can figure out how to make it work. I, you can do professional development if you want to work with other teachers to teach them how to be better teachers or give them new skill sets. We can put a workshop together and put it on the site under the business
Ooh,
side. If we want to do a video series like she is, and have those on-demand lessons and just send that link out to, to students, then they pay for that course that you're offering. Um, and then like she's doing as well, not only is she doing that video series, but the slides and the materials that she used for it, she also rents out on the site to other teachers so that they can teach the same kind of lessons that she's already taught. So she created it, she taught it and recorded herself teaching it, but then she also rents out the materials that she used to teach it to teachers who want to use those materials.
Wow.
So
Wow. I have been telling my kids for years that education is so like available, you know? It's not like when George Washington was a kid and he had like what, a book, two books, you know, and he had to just memorize them. Here we have so much so many resources. It's just, I mean, it's exciting to me. I think the hardest thing is to get the kids excited, right?
yeah, get the
Because I
kids
say, "Oh,
excited.
I made a math video on that. You could check it out on YouTube." They're like, "Yeah, right." And then the next day, I'm like, "Did you watch the YouTube video I sent?" I mean,
Oh, it's the same for
it's
my
been a
son.
process, but math is hard to make. In order to learn math, you really have to put the work into it, and that is just something kids aren't used to today. But there's no way around it.
No,
You
but
try to make it exciting, but
the only thing we can do is make it accessible and
right.
give them the opportunities to see it. That's what I found with my own son. Putting him in the coding class, and I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
that was really fun. I want to go
Yes.
again next week. Same thing
Yes.
for
It's
like,
like
yeah,
food for the brain. That's what I tell the kids. You don't understand how much you will enjoy feeding your brain, because the more you
yeah,
feed it, the more it wants and the more exciting it gets. That's the way I think,
yeah.
in my
So
world anyway. I know I'm a little weird, but but we have to inspire these kids, that we have to give them, their future, right?
definitely,
So that is awesome. What's your son's favorite subject?
his favorite subject. He doesn't like to say it, but I think it's actually a language. He's learned Chinese, he's learned some Spanish, and then he tells me I know Japanese because I know he knows a couple of words in it. So he likes to pick up words here and there. I think he'll do something with it as he gets older. Uh,
Yeah,
uh, you know, Coding has helped with that too because
yeah.
that's another language in its own right, and he has had to figure that out. So it's interesting traveling, like the way we do. You have to pick things up here and there, and so
And that's an
like
education, all of its
all
own,
of it.
just
Yeah,
traveling. Yeah, that's great. And so I imagine you homeschool, right?
yeah, yeah. We
Okay.
call it we call it world school.
World school. Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah,
a
that is
combination of
great.
homeschooling and unschooling, if you're familiar with the term of
Yep.
unschool. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I
So
mean, that's what I've said to people. If you go, like, some people, we've had kids leave school for a couple weeks. They go, you know, to their home country, and they go there for a couple weeks. And it's like, yeah, you're missing school, but they're actually learning so much by traveling and seeing all these different things. And you just forget what actual experience teaches a person.
yeah, definitely.
So it's a great thing, and it's a part of a good thing. I think staying in a brick and mortar school day after day after day has its disadvantages. I think we need, to modify that a little bit. But yeah,
Yep.
so thank you so much for this interview. I learned a lot. And I actually did go to your website and I looked around, but you even showed me more stuff about it. So I
Well,
appreciate that. Yeah.
well, thank you. Thank you for having me. It's been fun talking about it. I love talking about what I created. So, uh,
Yeah. Yeah. I hope you get more exposure and you get more. I mean, the big thing is getting more teachers to probably want them to teach on your site and get more activity with all of that going.
yeah, so that's the big thing. If you have lessons, what doesn't matter what subject it is, that's what I really want to get out right now. ESL is where the site started, but it's not where it's going to end up only being. I want all subjects, so all teachers can have access to the lessons that they want when they want them.
Okay, that sounds good. So I'll be thinking about that because I do math. I teach sixth grade and up. But what I like to do is the basics, because I figure by eighth grade, they should know all the basics, from elementary. Because then, in high school, you're going to do algebra and geometry and whatever higher math you're going to have. But up to eighth grade, they should have a good working knowledge of fractions, decimals, percents, general facts like that. I do not do Common Core.
Yeah.
So I actually applied for the school board, and I'm on the school board this year. And, my pitch was what we've done up to this point really hasn't worked. So I feel like we need to get back to the basics, especially with math. I think we've made it more confusing than what it
Yeah.
needs to be. I don't know what your opinion is, but
I mean, that was kind of my final. When I finished my master's of education, I had to do a whole bunch of stuff on the history of education, and I mean, our education system. I mean, we derived it from an agrarian society. All the farmers, we needed these breaks because of the harvests and planting and all of that, which in some areas is still a thing, in some areas is not. I mean, I'm a big fan. I think of if somebody is going to go to a brick and mortar all year schooling. I love the fact that my son's learning things from seeing it, exploring it outside, doing
yeah,
things, the kind of tactile response that he gets
yep,
from kinesthetic learning is definitely worthwhile and should have a way of playing into different types of schools out there, not just busy work. I hate homework. I'm
yeah,
not a fan of homework. Not as mandatory. Some students who like to do homework, and there are students who do like to do that, and some students who need that extra reinforcement. I get that, but it shouldn't be mandatory. That you already take the kid for 8 hours a day. If you can't get the information through to them in 8 hours, something's wrong
yeah. Well,
with your approach.
you say that, but I only have kids for 45 minutes.
That's true. You
45
have them for
minutes a day
45.
is
Yeah,
not very long to impart math skills, especially if they're behind, you
that's
know?
true with math because I was
So,
in school math and stuff, and like I took chemistry my what was it my junior year, maybe it was, but I knew it was going to be a problem, so I was taking it first period, and I talked to the teacher, and she happened to have an early bird class at 7 a.m. So
wow.
she let me sit in on the early bird class and then take it again in first period. I ended up getting an A in it, even though I was math and that science was not my strong suit. But I was basically double taking the class. I showed an interest and I
Right.
put in the work and the effort.
Right, right. Yeah. And that's a thing, it just depends on the student. I'm not a fan of homework, but I do believe we have to practice. Like I try to get them to
Practice.
practice some in class, and then I want them to practice a little after class just because if you do it in a different place, and you spend a little
Yes.
time on your own, especially when you have a class. A classroom setting is one thing, but doing it on your own at, in a different setting is a whole nother thing. So
We
that's
practiced math
me.
by going to the store the other day because
Oh yeah.
he only has so much time, and he has an allowance, and he was so excited. We went to the dollar store basically that they have
Yeah.
here, and he's like, I want that, I want that. How much am I spending? I'm like, I had him do the math, looking at the stickers. It was great.
Yeah. That's what I
There's been
always do
time,
with my
yeah,
kids.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's fun, and
And
it's a
they
good way to
learn,
get that extra practice, practical practice.
in percents, they can take a percentage off by figuring that out. And I do, like, when I'm in class, I will apply it to real life situations. And I tell them, I'm like, you do this stuff on your own. You just might not realize, here we're in math class, there you're at the store, there it's the same information, just in a different setting. So yeah.
Exactly.
But kids today, especially the junior high age, they're the ones that have been most affected by going in and out of school during the pandemic thing and all that stuff. And so, and those are the grades that I've been working with. So it's been especially challenging. So yeah, so I appreciate your stuff, and I will definitely be looking at it to see if it's something that I want to enter into with the math curriculum thing. Because, like I said, I'm thinking of doing a curriculum. I was thinking of doing it on my own, but I'm not. I do have a website. So I could put on my website where you could find me as a tutor, and then they'd send me to this website. I'm not really that into making my own website, making my own calendar, making my own platform. That just sounds like a lot to me.
Yeah.
So I appreciate your efforts. And Luann is my friend here. She also says parents are unable to help with Common Core. Yeah, I feel like Common Core in math, it kind of expects kids to think in a realm they're not ready for too young. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
They're like doing reasoning skills, and like when they're 8, 9, they're not ready for it. So that's my issue with that. But anyway, thank you so much, and
Thank you.
I'll see you around, and hopefully I'll get something together for your website and funnel my more teacher friends to it too. All right. Well, thank you so much. Yep. Have a
All
great
right.
day.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.